Hey guys, thanks for clicking on the video. This is season 2, episode 6 of How to Get Away with Murder. Shit was popping from the door. We come in. Frank is down in emergency. They're rushing Annalise through to surgery. They said, you gotta go to surgery. She's flatlining and all this bullshit. Frank is having a whole performance. She can't die. Tell me what's going on. You know, all of this. And it was just that. It was a performance. We see they're telling him, we're going to take care of it. Just chill out. He leaves out. He goes in the parking lot, baby, and he's stone face. Stone face. I said, what the fuck is going on? Because I was believing him at first with the she can't die and all that. Shady in the motherfucker. He walk out, and then there was the camera. Because you seen the camera, so I don't know what that's. Remember that. There was a camera. He walked right past the camera, and he was just a stone face. Walked on in, got in his car, looked in the car. Catherine was in the car. Little Asian girl. Dead or knocked out or something. But she landed in the car. So what the fuck is going on? So then we go, you know, it switches us back to weeks prior. Annalise has gotten to Asher with the whole supposed video of Bonnie being molested and all of that. So she has Asher's cooperation to shut his goddamn mouth and let her fix everything. So that's that. Annalise knows about Sinclair, the DA, and her whole witch hunt to try to take Annalise down. She goes to see the bitch and lets her know Asher's not going to cooperate with you. So whatever you got going on, you need to let it go. You're not going to build your career on top of my back, bitch. It ain't going to happen. I see you, bitch, and I will take your ass out. So we like, all right. I was waiting on that because I was getting sick of her. I don't know what her whole thing is, but Annalise to let her know, bitch, I see you. I see you, bitch. I'll cut you. So that was that. Frank ends up, you know, he's messing around with Laurel, and he actually ended up taking her home to meet his family and everything. So I said, okay, Frank and Laurel. Earlier, they had a little sex thing going on, and she done went through all his stuff again, just kind of trying to figure out, did he have anything to do with Rebecca? She sold on the idea, and she had told the rest of the students, he's like, look, Frank did not do this. This is bullshit. Wes is crazy as fuck. Wes is driving all of us crazy. And we could just go ask Frank, did he kill Rebecca? You know? So that's what they did. Frank was like, if y'all don't stop this bullshit. So he explained the money and all that. Said the money was put there because it's hush money for Rebecca, whatever the dumb bitch shows back up. So that was that. Wes, of course, still, you know, Wes. All his garbage. So then we got the students. They're out at the house with Catherine and Caleb and all of that. And they're having a little session, you know, they're working on them for whenever they get to court. And they're trying to come up with different avenues to go with. They even tried the avenue of maybe it's you all's birth parents who actually did it. Maybe there's something that they think they can gain. So maybe it's your birth parents that did the murder. So, Michaela didn't even want to go that route because she's adopted and she just thought it was very offensive and all of that. Caleb and Catherine leave the room, whatever, and they're just talking. And they're steadily talking about why they think that Caleb and Catherine are guilty and all of this. Whole time, Catherine's iPad is actually recording. That caused a whole problem. So Caleb and Catherine know now that they don't trust them. They were pissed. Annalise got word. She told the students, you all are garbage and you all should be fired. You know, to literally have a client hear you talking shit about them and this, that, and all that. The only thing that they did here that wasn't bad was that Connor was messing with Michaela and they was talking about Caleb's butt and all of this and that she ought to hit Caleb because they think she like him anyway. So when it was all said and done, they made it back up to them because in their travels, the group found out the aunt that got killed has a child. That bitch had a child that nobody knew about. That's in his 20s. And here we go. We got a new suspect. So they done won their way back in to be able to deal with the case. And Caleb basically let Michaela know, yeah, I know you like my butt, and yeah, I'm gonna get some of yours at some point. So that shit's all on. All that happened. So, we got a new suspect, a new love interest going on, so it all kind of worked out. Nate's wife done died in the meantime of all this. He gave her the damn pills that Annalise had. He gave them to her. She's been passed on. But then in this time, he done got mean to the motherfucker with Annalise. Told her, she ain't shit. And he ain't mad with her, but he just don't give a fuck about her. And that nobody will ever love her. He was mean as hell to Annalise. But it was like, all right, whatever, Nate. Because she kept going over there bringing him peach cobblers and shit. He's like, I don't know, motherfucking cobbler, bitch. He was mean. Mean as hell. And the last time she was over, she runs into Wes. Wes was actually over there. And Nathan told Wes he don't want to be bothered no more. He don't want to hear nothing that got to do with Annalise. He's just over it. He's just in his grief and he's pissed. But the funny part is, you was fucking Annalise and you're blaming her. I mean, yeah, she set you up and all of that stuff. She did all that. But you was fucking Annalise willy-nilly when the wife was sick. So you ain't all that innocent either, motherfucker. Nate, you big head bastard. But he's supple and he looking raggedy. I'll be glad when they straighten him up. Anyway, so Annalise and Wes end up talking. She goes over to Wes's apartment. They get into this whole thing. Annalise knows all this information about his mother and her committing suicide and leaving him and all of this. They arguing back and forth and he's telling her, this, that, and the other and whatever. No, I don't trust you. And it's because you're always lying and you ain't telling me everything and this, that, and the other. She's telling him, I'm telling you, I had nothing to do with Rebecca. Rebecca, I don't know nothing about Rebecca being dead or nothing like that. Rebecca ran away and I don't know where she went. We done looked everywhere for her. Lying her ass off. And so, they mend fences. I still got to know what is the connection to Annalise and Wes. It's just crazy. But anyway, so then we have this whole thing going on with Professor Hartford. She then actually called Annalise. And this is a case that, and we always have a case most of the time. So this is the case. Professor Hartford done split her her husband's head to the white meat. Okay? Said he was attacking her. And all of this. So Annalise is a friend of hers because she's a professor. That's how they're both professors, so that's how they know each other. She talks to her a little bit on the phone, tells her, well, what is this, that, and the other, and they're going on. She basically lied about certain things on the phone, then set certain things up in the house to make it look like she had actually been attacked, when I don't believe she really was attacked. I think she just split that motherfucker's head to the white meat. And when Annalise got to the house, the cops were there, and the private investigator or the investigator that was going through, he was real shady and real mean to her. And then that's when we found out. He's like, I don't believe you. You killed your husband just because you wanted to kill your husband, and it's because of this. Because he found out what you really are. Here, she's a tranny. She's a transsexual. And she's like, that is not true. That is not true. And if you don't get out of my goddamn face, you're going to be next. I was like, what is with these people that kill people and then say killer shit out their mouth? That just fucks me up. But anyway, and we went through a whole thing, all of the episode with Annalise having to deal with that. It broke all the way down. There was a student that ended up coming to Annalise's office to want to testify to actually seeing Professor Hartford's husband beating on her back in the past. Again, a lie, but Annalise fussed her. She's like, you can't just have some random student of yours just show up and this, that, thing, and the other. And she's like, listen, girl, I ain't going through all of this shit. This happened to another girl, and they didn't treat her fairly because she was trans, and she ended up in a men's prison and all of this kind of shit. And they're not going, I'm not trying to have them railroad me and all of this. So Annalise was like, all right, bitch, I'm mad that I didn't think of it first. So that was that. So Annalise ended up being called by the DA. And he's threatening her, and he's telling her, we know from the records, the phone records, you talked to Professor Hartford for a minute and 42 seconds before the cops were called. So, we don't believe this bitch. We believe she split his head to the white meat just to do it. And you going to be held as an accessory after the fact. So, Annalise went back on, Annalise was who Annalise is. She went back on her word to Asher. And she had to use some of her muscle, which involved her fucking with Asher's dad. His dad's a judge. She took her ass back down to the DA and let the DA know, you motherfucker, you been involved in corruption and bullshit that had to do with Judge Millsap, I think is what his last name is. And motherfucker, you could play around with this case, with this trans woman, and I'm going to take your ass all the way down, you and the judge. So y'all can get it cute if y'all want to. We can get it popping. So, all of that went on. Of course, the case went away. Annalise and the woman, they was good. She told her, girl, go live your life, honey. Be the woman that you're supposed to be, and this, that, and the other. So I took care of everything. But it caused a problem because Asher's father now has disowned Asher. When they're like, shit, what the hell happened? The fact that Annalise has this and all that, and Asher's in the middle. Asher's dad then basically disowned Asher, so Asher's like pissed. Asher's pissed. Because Annalise says she wouldn't bother his father, but Annalise will throw shit. She'll throw the mechanic under the bus. She don't give a damn. But anyway, so that damn Sinclair DA, she tells Bonnie, I'm going to leave y'all alone and all that. I'm going to leave it alone. I ain't going to fuck with y'all. I'm going to get y'all on this case fair and square. I ain't going to do nothing else shady. It's going to be what it's going to be. She said, but, your little friend Asher, he ain't who you think he is and all that. And then Bonnie's like, girl, get out of my face. She told her, yeah, that Tiffany girl? She was gang raped. So Bonnie's kind of like, the fuck? And she just leaves that right on Bonnie. I said, oh, Asher, you little bastard. So that's what the whole Tiffany thing is. There was a gang rape. I can't wait to get the rest of that information about that shit. Was what it was, is what it is. I can't wait to hear what all's going on. And I know Asher's dad was trying to help protect him from all of that. So, it's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess. But the last thing that we actually see is two things. That goddamn, the little Asian boyfriend of Connor's, he done went further out. And he done found more information about that secret sibling of the aunt of Caleb and Catherine. And here he thinking he done hacked into his computer, but they didn't. They both done hacked. And him and Connor steadily talk about it. And sure enough, they sitting in front of the computer, and the goddamn sibling is looking at them. I said, oh, here goes some shit. So, if that motherfucker is the killer, or we already know he got money, so Connor and the boyfriend are going to be at risk of being murdered at this point, I believe. So, because he knows that he's a suspect now. They ain't even subpoenaed him or nothing. He knows that people know he exists. He knows that he's actually a suspect. So, that's going to get interesting. That was kind of weird, but that's going to be interesting. I was like, see how Nebby works? Being Nebby. Doing too much. The last we actually see Frank is moving Rebecca's body back around and actually trying to dispose of the body the proper way. He's going to put her in a shallow grave this time. And then we actually see some people out walking, and a policeman out walking in the woods, and there's a body out there, and it's Catherine. And out in the woods, laying there in her silk pajamas, and there's blood on her pajamas. And I was like, oh, so he dumped her body too while he was at it. Because remember, she was in the car in the beginning. And then all of a sudden, honey, Catherine's eyes popped open, honey, and she's like, where the fuck am I? So she wasn't dead. She was literally drugged or knocked out or something. And I said, oh, here we go with some more motherfucking bullshit. And there's only a couple episodes left, so this is just too much. It's too much. This is why I love the show. I love this damn show. But anyway, that's it, y'all. So thumbs up, thumbs down. You know how that works. If I forgot anything, put it in the comments and we'll talk about it. But I don't think I forgot nothing. Yeah, shit's popping on air. It was a good Thursday night. All right, y'all. Bye, guys.